All right guys, so we're gonna do a swan or a glute stretch. We're gonna go a regular swan going into a sleeping swan. So we'll start by bringing the left foot underneath that right thigh. Again, loads of different ways to do this. You wanna try and have your foot as in line with your knee, but some people it's just not possible. So with my back leg, you can see that I'm bringing it more to the center of my body. So my knee is more in the center, say in line with your hips, but I like to have it a bit more in the center, and I can feel that in my glutes immediately. So staying upright first, this feels good. Again, any tightness in the lower back, you're gonna hear about it or feel it. And again, just relax. Then if you want to, go down onto your forearms. If that feels more comfortable for you, crack on. I'm just gonna be here for a few breaths. You can go straight into sleeping swan if you like, that works for you. Not too bothered. Nice deep breath. And then slowly come up and we'll swap sides. So again, if you want to shake it off a little bit, go into a downward dog, that's fine, crack on. And then we'll swap legs. So right foot underneath that left thigh. Again, one side's always going to feel a little bit different to the other. And that is normal. Swan. Again, you could have done that from the start, it's up to you. Nice deep breath. And slowly coming out into a rebound, so whatever that may be. All right, next we're going to do a melting heart or a puppy pose, loads of different names for it. So I want to start with my knees roughly around hip width apart. Okay, again, you need to adjust accordingly, but the hips stay over the knees. I'm going to tuck the tailbone up into the air. Almost like sticking my tailbone up. Hands go out in front, and then the head comes through the shoulders, and then we relax the head on the ground. So main areas, maybe in the lower back where we've done that little tilt, but also mainly in those shoulders and the top part of your back. One of my favourite stretches. About 4 more deep breaths. Last breath. Not ever, but slowly coming out of this stretch now. Ooh, that's a good one. And again, reset however you like. So I've done this, so I like to open up my chest this way. Okay, so next we're going to do a caterpillar or a forward fold or a seated forward fold. Loads of different names for this. Again, you may want to grab a block, a mat, a blanket, whatever. Okay, you folded the mat in half. So you're going to sit on it if you need to. You don't always need to. And then I'm going to go up, tilt through the hips, and then just fold down. Again, no forcing it. If you want to bend your knees and pop something underneath there, blocks or whatever, a cart, again, a blanket, you can do that. You don't want to feel it too much into the knees. As you can see here, things like the straddle, one of my weakest positions, or let's not say weakness, the biggest opportunity for growth. So this is why I'm doing this. I could just not show you this and not show you my weaknesses, but I just want you guys to know that, you know, even the people that do this for a living aren't perfect. 3 more deep breaths. Last breath, and slowly coming out of it. And again, if you want to do anything like a downward dog or any position that feels comfortable in order to reset a little bit, go for it. All right, so next we're going to come into a deep squat. Okay, so I'm just going to bring my feet nice and wide. I'm going to hang out, and we call this hanging out the joints. Okay, and then I'm going to push the knees out with the elbows. Okay, this is a good position. Okay, really opening up the hips here, maybe into the lower back. Now, you may not be able to hold this for 90 seconds, and that's okay. So even if you can only hold it for, let's just say 10 seconds, that's all good. You're just gonna stand up, shake it off a little bit, and then just come back down, and just again, trying to hold it for as long as you can, right? You'll find that over time, it'll get easier and easier. It's a great stretch though, so you really wanna practice it. With any of these stretches, throughout the 10 minutes, you must stick with it. If it doesn't feel great, adjust, but don't, when it comes to the stretch, you're like, oh, I don't like that one, I'm just not gonna do it. We really wanna make sure we're doing the stretch because it's one of the most important components of the workout, right? So you've got about 30 seconds to go. Oh, it's a nice deep breath. We're going to take 3 more deep breaths. Last breath. Just relax. So even if you just sit here and I go like this for a second, oh, that feels so good. Such a good stretch. All right, next we're going to do a Sphinx pose. So couple of different options here. You're going to come down onto your flat, onto your front, elbows into the side of your body, and then as you raise your upper body up, you may need to adjust your elbows. You're going to keep them roughly underneath your shoulders. Hips down into the ground. You should feel a little bit of compression in that lower back. So what we're trying to do is get a bit of compression to get some relaxation through that lower back. You'll soon understand what I mean once we release. Again, just relax, shoulders down. nice again. Breathing nice and slow. Slowly come down now. Again, this is probably a good reset position, the crocodile. Something like that just feels quite natural.